All right, let's talk about my favorite language apps. I'm going to try to detail what I'm using now. I'm just going to give you the full list now, and then later I'll do individual videos on each app and what really stands out to me. But my number one app, and I'll do it in number one to not so number one, is Memrise. Memrise is just really cool because it does a weighted kind of calculation apparently. So if I keep missing something or I miss anything at all, it flags it as kind of difficult or difficult word or phrase, and then it'll bring it back more often. And then as you've been using it for months or years, I guess, from what I understand, it'll also bring back things that you may have done fine months ago, but it'll just bring them back and do you still remember this? And if you don't, it makes adjustments, stuff like that. So very cool. Number two for me is, HelloTalk. HelloTalk is an app where same kind of a thing like most of them, right? It's asking you questions, but it has a community behind it. So if one of the questions has you record a response, maybe it tells you to repeat what they say. When you make that recording, it uploads it to their system. And so a native Spanish speaker can listen to my Spanish and then comment about it. Either just say, hey, give me a thumbs up, it was great, or give me recommendations on how to do it better. I also, as an English speaker, can listen to somebody trying to learn English and try to give them my feedback as well. So very cool. I love HelloTalk. Busuu. Busuu I just started using. It was through a recommendation on another YouTube channel. Seems pretty cool. So I'll find out more about it. But I actually, even though I haven't used it much, I like it better than my number 4, which is one everybody's heard of, probably, is Duolingo. Duolingo is cool, and if you haven't used any app, I'd go ahead and use Duolingo. You can use the free version fairly well, so I would do that. But I would tell you that for these kind of apps, it's worth considering paying for the pro version or the non-ad version. The next thing that is my absolute favorite thing that I use, it's an app and it's also desktop, is Spanish Dict, D-I-C-T. And it'll do translation. Like if you're going to use Google Translate to communicate with somebody or just try to figure something out, that is considered really no bueno, not good compared to something like Spanish Dict. It gives you like 4 different translations, and I've even checked with other people and they're like, yeah, these translations are so much closer to being accurate. So I like it for that, which is cool. The other thing I like it for is it's got testing. It's got some appy stuff to it where I'll ask you questions and teach you things, which is fun. But it also shows you, if you're looking at a verb like hablar, it'll show you, okay, here are the conjugations for, I, hablo, habla, it goes through all of them. But then it also has the preterite, the past tense, because in Spanish, there's so many forms of a verb. That's where I'm at now, and it's a little overwhelming, I'll be honest with you. But it has all that, so it's cool. And also, if you're looking at something, you can select individual words. This app, Access Web, whatever you want, I would absolutely pay for the pro version, like for whatever that subscription is. When I do the individual videos, I'll make sure to list the prices. My 2 honorable mentions that you might want to check out are Lingodeer. I've looked at it a little bit. There's a lot of really good recommendations and ratings for it. People just saying they love it more than like Duolingo and Busuu and the other ones. And then the other one really isn't necessarily a language app specifically like we're talking about, but it's Vibely, and it's more of a community. So somebody teaching Spanish might use this kind of system to manage their class and to give assignments. But what I find with Vibely is it's more self-teaching. Like you are really moving yourself forward. The teacher is really just kind of giving you assignments so you have something to do. They're not necessarily helping you learn how to say something. It's hard. You have to check it out. And I did forget, but my most favorite flashcard app, because I just think it's so powerful for what it is, and again, I'd pay for this, is called Flashcards Deluxe. And I'll get into detail why I like that later with some screenshots. But the cool thing about it is not only can you create, they call them decks. So I could have a catalog or a deck for cycling words and phrases, or working out or walking my dog phrases, whatever. I can have individual catalogs. I don't want to separate them. But even better is the community has a whole bunch of already created catalogs that you can download. I'm sure it's because of the paid subscription, but you can download them. I have probably 30 different Spanish catalogs on this app. and you can set it up so the app actually speaks to you. So if it's for me, because I'm new, I do like to hear and understand where the accent is. So check them out. I will do individual videos later, just so you can really see what they're all about. And then, if you know of a really good app that you're using or you've heard about, please share it in the comments below. I really like looking at this stuff. I'm from a technology background in my past, so I like playing around with that stuff. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, we're just not friends. That's all I can tell you about that. Thanks for spending your time with me.